All right, welcome back to Radio Nation. I'm your host, Nicholas Pescod. We're now joined live in studio with Herbs, the main event for tonight's show, and of course our featured artist this week. So, Herbs, you've been singing now since about 2009, but off the air you really mentioned that you've been singing actually for a lot longer than that even.
Yeah, for sure, man. Let me start off by saying I want to thank Radio Nation for this live radio interview. And
Absolutely.
Music-wise, I've been at this since '99. Right, and it was like I was telling you before, it was an on and off thing, right? Mm-hmm. But it just kept on coming back, right? I was kept on hooking it.
Now, you've been you said you freestyled and
oh yeah.
And I've been reading throughout your bio here,
mm-hmm.
and you're actually originally from Iraq.
Yep.
So I guess I want to start off the interview really by just asking you, are you influenced by your background a lot in your music too, or your freestyling, or just when anything that you do that you record?
Well, for sure. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. When I first started out, that was the topic of each song, right? Mentioning where I came from, homegrown, everything like that, right? And at the end of the day, right, you can't forget where you came from. So that's always on the top of your mind and stuff. But right now, I'm just having fun with this music thing, making music that can have people dancing, just going about it like that, making people happy with the music.
Now, I guess I want to ask, have you experienced I guess even any oh, you're from Iraq, a weird sort of response because you're Iraq, just because of all the political stuff that has gone on in the past?
That's always like that, man. I first started out as a rapper, right? And you know what I mean? People oh, rapper from Iraq? Oh, come on, man. They don't go together, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, man, I just kept on sticking to it, and at the end of the day, right, I put so much hard work into it, so many years, that those people that said that, they changed their mind, and right now, the music is going into, it's not really about color, race, or anything. It's about, as an individual artist, how you make the fan feel.
Absolutely. Now, I guess talk to me about your social media use. I mean, you're really, really strong on Twitter, and you're really, really active on Twitter. So how important for you has social media been as a tool to really get yourself out there and to communicate with your fans?
You know what, I'm going to compare it to years ago, where it was all word of mouth. I dropped my mixtape a couple of years ago, and that was the hardest thing to do, right? Because I can give my mixtape to let's say 30, 40 people, right? And then from there, they're passing it on to their friends and their friends. But social media, it makes everything so easier, right? You got other artists that you can work with. You got cameramen, you got engineers, you just got A&Rs and everything. It just makes everything, it's like a one-stop shop. Twitter, Facebook, BBM. Just right now, I've been crazy on it. All three of them all night.
What songs have been really popular that you found on Twitter that are your songs that you've recorded, and what songs have you found, I guess, that are really popular on Twitter from your fans or people you didn't even think you had as fans?
You know what, man? Not even leaning onto the YouTube, when I would release a song, a hit single, or even a music video, just the amount of views you would get just spawn all over the place from the places you never knew existed, right? And then as an artist, you would just take it in, right? Because you spent a week or however long you spent making that song, and you would watch the views, and then you'd be oh man, it's over 1,000. That means 1,000 people watch this, right? And you're getting emails back and forth from all over the place. It's a crazy feeling.
Now, you produced and recorded your first album, Moneymaker, in 2006. What was the biggest challenge in sort of making this album?
Convincing people that I'm a really good artist, right? Give me a chance. That's the hardest thing. Nobody wants to pay attention to me, so I was out there putting really strong work into that. But to be honest, as an artist, I really grew since 2006, right? I was mostly a rapper. Now I'm turned singer, pop, and all of that. Mm-hmm. But the hardest thing was just convincing people that, you know what, just listen to it. So I was out there handing it out for free, right? Number one, when they hear free, everybody's on that, right?
Right.
So that's the best key, right? Always market yourself, and I just went about putting effort into it, putting money into that mixtape, and just handing it out just like that.
Was it harder back then? Because, obviously with YouTube wasn't that powerful back as it is today. I mean, it was sort of a newer step.
That's true.
So was it harder finding that you were handing out CDs and people were well, what is this? I don't, you know what I'm saying? Was it almost a weird reaction that you got from people, as opposed to now where
no, it's,
you put it on YouTube and people were oh, I want this CD,
That's it. It's just to be honest, man, I remember back in the days where I would hand out my mixtape, people ugh, what's this, man? I'm oh, that's me, right? if you have this like a minute just to listen to it, they'll be like, no, it's okay, man. I'm not into that kind of music, or you know what I mean. They would just like they wouldn't be attracted to it, so it's kind of weird.
What has been your biggest challenge as an artist? Obviously, you just mentioned the fact that, really getting your name out there and getting people to sort of listen to you. But what else has been a big challenge for you, whether it's writing-wise or recording-wise? What's been a big challenge?
To be honest, man, the love for the music, right? Because there is some nights where I just don't want to do music anymore, right? Because there's so many bad music out there, or so much bad feedback, right? And it's just like you're seeing, oh man, like look at this guy, he just made it, and that song wasn't even good, something like that, right? So just like I used to pull away on that. I'm like, you know what, forget it. I don't want to do music anymore. I'm done, right? But then like, there's always going to be that, no matter what I'm doing. If I'm a lawyer, if I'm a doctor, there's always going to be a bad doctor or a bad lawyer or whatever, right? Right? So people are just going to do it for not the love, but like the money or something like that.
Do you want to talk about some of the people you've worked with? You've worked with some relatively, popular people, or people with some big name, like Masari's brother, for example. Do you want to talk about working with Masari's brother and alongside artists such as Blaze, like what that experience was like in helping you as an artist grow? Like
I was telling you, man, social networking is an amazing tool. Everybody should use it. I was on Twitter, right? I was just out there tweeting my music and stuff like that. And Sammy from Money and Fame noticed that he was trying to do an event out here in Toronto. So, of course, right, I just jumped on it, tried to help him out on that, right? And like it led to me being in Ottawa instead of having the event in Toronto, throwing the event in Ottawa right there back in April. Met Stereos, met a couple of other artists, and from there like built that connection, that strong connection where back and forth convo and everything like that. Also Blaze, I'm still working with Blaze. I sent him in, one half of the artist there, and he's been like, I don't know, man, he's been there since '09, right? Back and forth, producing, everything like that. So as an artist, like I was so into rap, and then I just opened up my field and started jumping to different genres and stuff like that to help me build as an artist. What has been like you just mentioned, you opened to different genres of music. What was really the big factor in that made you decide I need to just try some other genres and really diversify as an artist? I just didn't want to talk about what rappers talk about, right? That, you know what I mean? I did live that lifestyle or whatever. Coming up was really hard, and just like at the end of the day, I started listening to pop music and like just like music that made me feel good, made me want to dance and stuff. And just from there, I'm like, this is giving me a good feeling. So you know what? It's just crazy, like going to the clubs and just seeing these kind of songs being played and stuff. So it just made me go back home and start writing and just switching up everything. We're going to take a quick break here on Radio Nation. You're listening to Herbs and myself, Nicholas Pescod, the host of Radio Nation. So we're going to take a quick musical break here on the show, live in studio with our featured artist for tonight, Herbs. And Herbs, welcome to Radio Nation again. Man. Thanks for having me. Yeah, no problem. So continuing our little interview here, I got to ask, what made you really get started into music, and who have been your biggest influences on a musical level and then on a personal level? To be honest, man, like I said, 99, that's when I started. It was like, always be tuned into BET or Much Music or whatever, and just watching like the reaction that people, like the artists as a person on stage will get from the fans. And I'm like, I want that right there, right? And I had to build on that. Artists in general who I listen to, of course, everybody knows Tupac from the beginning, right? And from there, it's just faded on to like just pop music in general, right? And anybody, like at this position right now, there's no favorite artist that I have, but it's favorite songs, because artists in general are, you know what, they're just not artists anymore. They have like that 1-2 good songs and that's it. I'm not tuned into anymore. So then what, I guess, is some of the more popular songs or songs that you're really enjoying right now that's as an artist that you've heard from other artists? That's pretty much it, right? Like in my CD, you're probably listening to Roscoe Dash or anything by Flow Rider, that new song, that good feeling, just like stuff like that makes you want to like just dance or whatever, just smile, and that's pretty much it. As an artist, where do you see yourself headed in the next year and then in the next couple of years? Right now, in the next year, working on my EP, like I said, SOS, just trying to get it out there, right? the feedback on Twitter or Facebook, everything has just been amazing. I just want to get that out. Like a year from now, I have to get it out. A couple years from now, man, hopefully, right, BET or whatever it is, right, on TV officially, right? But I'm going to be putting in more work, more songs out there, more videos, and just run with it.
Is it hard because you're an up-and-coming artist, and obviously you got to make a living in some way? Is it hard to really balance being an artist with school or work or whatever else you do in your personal life?
Okay, I gotta tell anybody out there that's listening that wants to be an artist, number one, it's all self-driven, and you get what you put into it. That's it. Simple as that, man, because nothing is free. Everything. I'm at different engineers, different studios. I'm paying out of my own pocket. So, of course, if it's just like hard to juggle work, paying your rent, paying all your bills, and at the same time having money to hit the studio and make that song or make that video. So it's really difficult, right?
Do you feel that you fit in a category with, you know, as a quote-unquote struggling artist in a sense where, you know, it is difficult to, you know, balance both? Do you find you're in a big group, a category where there's a lot of other artists that you sort of network with and they're like, yeah, you know what, we know we didn't, like, we don't have a lot of time because we need money to get to get in the studio, but we need to get a job? Or do you find you fit in? Like, do you find there's a lot of other people out there like you?
I don't know. Like, to be honest, I met a lot of artists. I did a lot of features, and I can't really connect with any other artist because some of them don't even have a job, right? They're just like, they saw it on TV and they want to start singing or whatever it is, right? So, and there's other people that, I don't know, they just do it once in a blue moon because that new song came out and, oh, you know what, that song is really good, so let me go ahead and do a take on it or whatever, right? And it's me, it's an ongoing cycle. So I never met another artist that I click with, but I met like teams or anything like that.
Now, I wanted to ask, what has been a really, like we sort of mentioned this off in the previous segment, but what else has been a really big challenge for you? Like we sort of touched on the Iraqi background, and
yeah.
have you found, I guess, that has that helped you in any situation being Iraqi? Because it does make you different from a lot of other artists out there.
First of all, shout out to Iraq and everybody that's listening that's from Iraq. Getting like your fellow like Iraqis to listen to your song, they're like, what the hell is this, man? Go back to work or whatever, right? It's just like jumping over that rock. Once you do, you have all of them listening to you, all of them like supporting you. So the biggest hardest thing I had to get over was releasing my mixtape. And the first thing I started was with family and friends, and of course friends would be from my hometown, right? So of course, no love. After I put in more work, they just started turning around saying, you know what, his music is getting better, and he is from our hometown. So you know what, let's just pay attention to him.
Are there any artists that you idolize that are from Iraq that you've listened to? Is there anybody that really inspires you as an Iraqi artist, or is it sort of like there really aren't that many? There
isn't. There is a couple, but I'm gonna shout out myself on this one right now.
Fair enough.
Of course, right?
Yeah.
Artists from Middle East, I would say Masari and just like Carl Wolf, stuff like that, right? They're from the same areas I'm from, and they're on TV, they're rocking shows, doing clubs, everything like that, right?
Is it hard, in a sense, like I'm trying to, don't want to too much more, but being generalized, or like just because you are from the Middle East and,
yes.
and you're in a Western culture where,
yes.
Unfortunately, that background right now isn't the most favored upon in terms of certain demographics, which is unfortunate. But do you find that hard, and how do you sort of break through that challenge of saying like, so what? It doesn't matter where I'm from. Like I'm still, like a regular person, and I put out great music.
The best thing about music in general is there's no race, there's no color, like I was saying, right? It's based on you, your voice, the songs that come out of the car, the laptop. It is really hard when telling people I'm from Iraq, because like, Iraq, that's what, you know what you see on the news, it's always bad news, right? Good news will never make the news, simple as that. But it's another good thing, right? Because Iraq's all over the news. So when you search up Iraq, of course, hashtag, you're going to see me.
Fair enough.
That's it.
Well, at least it'll be a positive thing, though.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, in terms of your own career, what has been one of the really big highlights for you as an artist in terms of your musical career and your accomplishments?
Oh, right now, this radio interview.
Sweet. Well, that's
right?
an awesome honor. Thanks.
Radio Nation, shout out to Nick. This year, like I said, man, I just been the power of networking. If you catch me 2 years ago, I didn't care too much about YouTube or whatever. It was just like, here, listen to my song in your car. Now it's like, whoa, I'm meeting different people I never met before, right? The event in Ottawa, like I said, Money and Fame, met Stereos, did a couple of shows, Toronto Takeover, that was with my Blaze right there. That was at Traffic, and just like rocking shows this year. It was just amazing. It was just fun.
Now, I don't, obviously, you gave me your bio, but I don't want to get too much. But do you follow closely with, like, for example, we had Castro, or at the time he was called Kaisi John, and he was really close to, like, he was really close to sort of the Afghanistan community and sort of doing some work. Have you done anything with your own community in terms of, like, community events that are Iraqi-based or anything like that? Or if not, have you considered doing stuff like that?
I'm transitioning. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been getting crazy messages from Assyrians, Iraqis in general, that some of them are hate messages. How come you're not doing this show? How come you're not singing with this fellow Iraqi singer or whatever? And that's next year. That's what I'm jumping on. Like on my EP, I do have a couple of songs that are, like, you know what I mean, home based and stuff like that. So I will be leaning towards that side, touching that genre.
Is it important for you? Do you find it's harder for you that those fans sort of judge you even harder than the regular ones because you are Iraqi, and there really is no.
It's I don't know what to say, man. It's you're basically being a model for a bunch of people, right? So some people will not like it. So you got to be on point. You got to be on your game, right? You got to show your country in a good way. Simple as that.
What else has been a real highlight in your career that maybe your fans don't know? I mean, obviously you have the things listed in your bio, but what's something that maybe if someone come up to you and just saying, like, I really love what you did at a show or something, like what is something that really stuck out for you as an artist that really meant a lot to you from a fan or from a gig you performed at? Or
you know what, man, that would, like I said, right, it was back and forth. It was on and off. Sometimes I didn't want to do music. There were some nights where I just didn't want to do music because there was so much negativity. So I just wasn't in that mind frame. And then stayed off for a couple of months, 4, 5, 6 months. One day it was like a full year. I didn't touch music, right? And then I had one of my friends from high school come up to me, said, "Hey, the other day, you know what? I was listening to that remix that you did with Cassie, right? And that was crazy, man. Your lyrics were amazing, man. You're still doing music, right?" I'm like, whoa, that song was like 3 years old. I can't believe this guy just told me a song that was 3 years old. He was playing it last week. So it really touched me, and I just said, you know what? Damn, like, I can be making a song that's new or old, and as long as I put my effort into it, give it, like, do me, like, on the song, people will show respect, and when they do, it's just amazing. That was an amazing feeling.
Now, talk to me about the song "She Just Wanna Dance." That's the one we're going to play tonight.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this song. What were some of the challenges making this song, and some of the challenges recording this song?
All the guys in the club that are trying to get a dance from a girl, and yeah, simple as that. The name of the song is "She Just Wanna Dance." When you start playing, you'll know what I'm talking about. Hard, not really. It's just like watching, like, as an artist, painter, whatever it is, you take what's going on and you put it on a canvas or you write it down on pen and paper. With me, I was in the clubs. I just noticed in the club, like, a lot of guys were trying to, like, dog down girls. like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Like, at the end of the day, the girls just wanted to dance, right?
Yeah.
Have fun and go from there. And I just ran with it. The beat is from Superstar O. He's a crazy producer out in the States, like, really heavy name. Google him, by the way.
Will do.
We just connected with him this year. Told him I'm feeling the beat. Gave him the idea. Went from there. Gave me the beat, and I just started working on it, and just like I just ran with "She Just Wanna Dance," and from there it was history. I was just putting everything into it. I was basically visualizing myself as one of those losers in the club.
Talk to me about, for somebody out there who doesn't know the process of what it's like to get a beat from a producer. Take me through that process where you go. Do you approach a producer and say, "I need a beat," and they come up with a few? How does that work?
First of all, if you're not gonna pay, you are gonna get sued. That's number one. Don't ever copyright anybody's music. Don't ever steal any music. Sometimes, luckily, you get the producers right at, like, 5 streets away. Lives in downtown. Lives wherever. You approach them. You tell them the idea, and they work with it, right? You'd basically tell them the melody, like, "She just wanna dance, she just wanna dance," and they'll start, like, playing with the piano, with all the machines that they have to. Or sometimes you just walk into a studio and the producer says, "Hey, this is the beat I have. What do you think about it?" And we just run from there.
Now, do you as an artist tend to write to a beat or just write and then find a beat that fits what you write?
You know what? It's a two-way street. Sometimes I just love hearing a beat, and I'm like, oh, this is making me feel like this, and I start writing to the beat. Sometimes I already have a song that's written in my head, and get somebody to custom make it for me.
Fair enough. Now, have you ever come into a cross situation? I'm sure this happens to every artist that's a good artist, where you're in the shower, you're in the car, you're doing something, you're at work, you're at school, and you come up with a really good line for a song, and you have to, you do anything you can to just get out of that moment to write it down. Has that happened to you? And like, give me an example of one time.
Thanks for the black braid. That doesn't happen anymore, right? Thanks for all these gadgets that are so close to hand. But yeah, man, I'm not lying to you. In the shower, and sometimes I have like short memory or something, man. Like I'm just like running out of shower. Whoa. What the hell did I just do? Oh, I just took a shower. Oh, did I write something? I think I wrote. No, I just took a shower. Forget it. Simple as that, man. It happens to everybody out there.
All right. Well,